Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. So today I want to talk to you guys about this chest that I recently got on my Marauder. Comb's Heart. One of the most valuable items in the game. The reason this is so is because it's a very powerful item. It's very hard to get. And when it comes to mirroring items, which is what people like to do in the high end of things, they can't mirror it because it's a unique. You cannot mirror uniques in this game because apparently by the lore, uniques are essentially mirrors of the original themselves, and you can't mirror a mirror and, all the good stuff. But the interesting stuff comes from getting these uniques. So, some people, they're lucky enough to find these uniques by just killing monsters. Now, this is not typically the case. The drop rates are skewed. So what that means is, when you kill a monster, the chance that you get this unique, as opposed to, I don't know, this unique is different. You'll get much more Covenants than you will Comb's Hearts, even though perhaps the base item, the Glorious Plate versus the Robe, were the same drop chance. So what people do is they often get this particular unique and several others like Terran's Shiver and several I don't have, like the infamous bow, Lion's Eye Glare, and there are a few others as well. And these are essentially achieved, people tend to get these by using Chance Orbs. So Chance Orbs upgrades a normal item to a random rarity, and the probability of this is estimated, and I think the estimation has been confirmed to be roughly in the ballpark of the actual figure. And with these estimates, roughly 1 times out of 5 you make an item rare, and I believe it's 1 time out of 500 you make an item unique. Now, in certain cases, there are more uniques than they are to one item. So what that means is, for instance, for a Glorious Plate, there's only one unique Glorious Plate. So if you hit that 1 in 500, you get this unique. But for amulets, obviously I don't have the unique amulets, but there are several unique Onyx amulets. And the distribution of rarity between those Onyx amulets is actually different. So the chance that you get one amulet or the other will not be even. What this means is, because the guys over at GGG have said that they will be introducing more and more uniques in the future, when they release another unique Glorious Plate, the best way to get these items, these Comb's Hearts and a few other uniques, is going to be diminished. Because when you hit that 1 of 500 super lucky chance on your Orb of Chance, you may not get the exact item that you want. They could, make another unique Glorious Plate that is just downright terrible. So, and they can skew it so the good one is much rarer. So if they do that, this item will gain a lot of value. Now, a lot of people have asked me what I did to get this item. I ended up buying it for 35 Exalted Orbs. And, some of you are pretty, well introduced to the Path of Exile economy. Exalted Orbs are pretty much the most valuable currency that is, in circulation. Like, there are mirrors, there's some other shit, but basically, people typically have at least 1 or 2 of these that they tend to barter with. And 35 of them is a huge amount. One thing that I really wanted to look into is force chancing a Comb's Heart. So what that means is, if I have a white Glorious Plate and I chance it, because it's 1 out of 500, I need a total sum of 500 Chance Orbs, and I need a total sum of 500 Orb of Scourings. And if you do the numbers on that, it's about 21 Exalted Orbs. So I essentially overpaid because I just want to save that time investing into buying Scouring Orbs, buying Chance Orbs, and then in the end, perhaps I wouldn't be so lucky. I may just never get it, because that's sometimes that's how it works. It's very rare stuff. The probabilities are very low. Sometimes the luck is not with you. So I thought 35 was overpay, but based on the number of people that want it and how many are out there for sale, it is what it is. It's a fair deal, I guess, in the end. But I want to show you guys here this process. So I can do it a few times because I don't mind, because this is economically sound. I can make it a white item, chance it. I can do that again. If I do it in this process, sometimes I get a rare. In this case, it's actually not too bad. I don't think I'd bother selling an item like this, but every now and then you'll get a very good Glorious Plate. So even though the system costs, essentially 21 Exalted's worth of Scouring Orbs and Chance Orbs, and essentially the Glorious Plates themselves, because, if it's actually worth that, a Glorious Plate that's white essentially has the value of a Scouring Orb, which is the value of an Alchemy Orb. So you can kind of think about that when you're picking them up. A white Glorious Plate on the ground is essentially an Alchemy Orb at the minimum in terms of price. So pretty interesting stuff there. But even when you're doing this process of scouring and chancing, you're going to get all the rares, and sometimes you get a good one, and sometimes you profit off of that. While I was doing this process, I think I used maybe about 45 Chance Orbs and Scouring Orbs. I got one really good chest that I got like 4 or 5 Exalteds for. So it is a very sound thing to do. And, this essentially carries on to the other uniques in the game. All the white Maelstrom Staffs. Maybe they're not as valuable as a Scouring Orb or an Alchemy Orb, but they have some value. They are worth chancing because the Chance Orbs are the cheaper ingredient in the Chance plus Scour combo there. And when it comes to the bows are actually about as valuable as the chest, the Imperial bows to try to get the Lion's Eye Glare. So again, you can also get the rare bows. Rare bows sometimes can be very good and sell for a lot. So it's kind of an interesting concept where if you do have a reasonable amount of currency, if you have the willingness to invest it in a very random thing, but over time, because this is a permanent league, doing these kinds of activities over time, as I've shown you, will pay off. It's just very important to keep note when more uniques, which are using the same base type of whatever item you're chancing, come into play, so you can, kind of weigh the new odds in doing this kind of activity. So hopefully I've introduced you guys to some pretty cool mechanics that will probably get some of you guys pretty wealthy, and some of you guys a little bit sad about your poor RNG, but nonetheless, it's a very cool thing to think about, and those are the kind of concepts that you're going to need to, use to gain wealth in a permanent league in Path of Exile. Have fun, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.